Hi everyone, welcome to the channel 1 Minute Burning, and today we are going to see about an interesting festival, Navaratri. Navaratri is the most famous Hindu festival celebrated in the month of September to October mostly. The date varies each year depends on the Hindu calendar. Navaratri is celebrated in all parts of India but in different ways. Well, that is India. We learn to celebrate diversities and cultivate our culture. The word Nava means 9 and the word Ratri means night, and the festival is celebrated for the 9 nights and 10 days. The divine feminine goddess Shakti is the reigning deity of Navratri, who will be worshipped in different forms on Navratri days. As I mentioned earlier, people in different parts of India celebrate the festival diversely. I am going to speak about the Navaratri celebrations of Tamil Nadu, but before that let us see the celebrations in other states briefly. In North India, this is celebrated as Dussehra, the victory of Rama against Ravana, and the 9 days will be spent singing, dancing, inviting friends, distributing sweets to neighbors and friends, and worshipping gods. During the 10th day, they burn the effigies of Ravana and ends Navaratri. In Eastern India, this festival is celebrated as Durga Puja. People arrange temporary pandals and place goddess Durga bedecked with various weapons, and people visit one another pandals, and during 8th day, they worship life-sized idol of Durga that symbolizes the slaying of Asura Mahishasura, and the idol of goddess will be called as Mahishasura Mardini. In Western India, they celebrate the festival as Garba and they sing and dance. The most famous dance, Dandiya, will be performed everywhere during these 9 days. And in South India, this festival is celebrated in different ways, where Telangana celebrates Navaratri as Bathukamma, the floral festival where the women make several conical mounds out of the seasonal flowers and worship goddess Gauri. In Karnataka, they celebrate Dussehra, where Jambu Savari takes place, wherein the procession of royal sword and adorned elephants and horses takes place on 9th day. Procession of goddess Samundeshwari on the decorated elephant takes place on the 10th day. And throughout Navaratri, the famous Mysore Palace would be grandly decorated. All over South India, one of the important celebrations is Golu, which is a display of idols or dolls of deities arranged on the steps. Again, this has different names in different regions. In Andhra Pradesh, they call it as Bommala Kuluvu. In Karnataka, they call it as Bombay Habba. In Kerala, they call it as Bommagulu. And in Tamil Nadu, we call it as Bommegulu. People make steps, usually in odd numbers, and place dolls of gods and goddesses in each steps. There are some steps dedicated to the dolls of animals and personalities. The miniature setup of the Digasams and history would also be placed, and they also place the dolls of the common people and the events. For instance, the dolls of vendors, traffic signal, doll depicting the marriage, dolls of historical events can also be found in Golu. They say that the steps indicate our life's ladder and one has to climb all the steps to reach the top. In some Gulus, to coordinate the soul's goal, somewhat related to evolution, they place the reptiles in the lowest first step, animals on the second, followed by the common people, achievers, jnanis, avatars, and finally the deities would be adorning the topmost steps. Common Gulus will be placed in temples, and the goddess of the temples will be bedecked, worshipped in various forms. The dolls of Gulu are mostly made of sand, clay and wood painted in engrossing hues. Some keep silver or bronze dolls too. But I personally prefer clay or sand dolls, as I see it as an act of kindness to support the people who are involved in the doll making process. Actually, many people are there rely on this work for their income, and many pursuing this as their family legacies. So I believe that every festival has such reasons behind the celebrations, and so we should follow this tradition at least to support those people. There is no specific rules and norms for this Gulu setup, and this is the best area to exhibit one's creativity. No Gulu will be the same. Actually, they used to alter this setup every year. Some people set themes too. Children build artificial parks near Gulu, and all these days, people, especially ladies and kids, keep on visiting neighbors, friends and relations to see their Gulus. The best part is they prepare different prasadams, offerings, daily, and also give presents along with tambulam to the people who visit. Dals and dals rich in protein and sweets like puttu and payasam would be the prasadams mostly. Elders used to enunciate the reasons to celebrate Navaratri, and they articulate enchanting stories from our Puranas and explain the names of the dolls and their stories to the children. people will be asked to sing Carnatic songs or the devotional songs while visiting Golus. The girl children will be seen as the goddess during these days and will be worshipped equally. The dolls used by your ancestors will be treasured and cherished. I have even witnessed 100-year-old dolls in one of the Golus. Previously, some decades ago, people used to arrange the steps with the boxes and benches which were available. Now the ready-made steps are there in the markets. In front of the Gulu, they place the idol of goddess and she will be worshipped as the goddess Durga for the first 3 days, the second 3 days as goddess Lakshmi, and the third 3 days as goddess Saraswati. This is primarily to portray the urge of woman empowerment and to praise the strength and power of femininity. In fact, in all the Navaratri celebrations across the country, the femininity is worshipped and celebrated. And the 9th day is celebrated as Ayudha Puja or Saraswati Puja in Tamil Nadu. Workers' worship is the theme behind this festival. First preference would be given to the goddess Saraswati, goddess of wisdom, and almost all the goddesses in the temples across the state would be adorned as goddess Saraswati that day. On this day, people arrange their tools, instruments, and weapons, decorate them with flowers and the sandal kumkum paste, and worship them. From the auto drivers to the bus owners, from the small street stores to the big markets, from the jewelry to the clothing shops, everywhere they celebrate this festival. Even non-Hindu people do so. When we go to the auto stand or bus stand that day, we can see drivers distributing sweets and sandals to the people. At home, people clean and adorn their homes, keep sandal kumkum paste on windows and doors, decorate their vehicles, and students worship their books. And the 10th day is celebrated as Vijayadasami. Vijaya means victory and Dasami means 10th day. This day is devoted to begin the new things also. Especially the young children or toddlers who are going to start their schooling will be taken to the temples and schools to introduce writing, and many schools allow new admissions on Vijayadasami day. The procedure is called as Aksharabhyasam or Vidyarambam. Vidya means knowledge and Arambam means beginning. Parents or elders of the family hold the index finger of a child and make the child write the first letter of their mother tongue in a tray filled with rice. People perform small pujas at factories and shops and pray to obtain good yield and gain and begin this auspicious day with the blessings of God and elders. This is how the festival Navaratri is celebrated in myriad ways and names in different regions of our country. Amidst the varied names and celebrations, there is a single motto that unites the entire festival. Yes, the victory of good over evil is the common and cardinal gist behind this huge celebration. So that's all for today. I'll meet you with some other interesting video. Until then, bye, take care and have a pleasant day.